Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to SevTech Ages. So since last episode, it's actually the same day that I finished recording the last episode. Since then, I've had the mob farm running a bit, but I mean it's not running full throttle like it would be in like a single player, because of course we do have multiple people generally on the server. But I have actually racked up a decent amount of stuff. I mean, we got bones, we got gunpowder. I've actually gotten 3 ender dust since this has been running, and you can see some witch drops in here. So passively running isn't too bad. Not to mention, actually, a lot of the time, since last episode, I was actually in between lands. Because, guess what I got? Guess what I got here? I have a second ring of Ascension. So, we have 2 of those now. Which means we can craft journey map without feeling guilty about losing a ring, which is awesome. Because I really don't want to give up those rings if I can avoid it. Now, in addition, you'll notice there's some changes over here. I have been sprucing this area up, working on finalizing this area, minus the totems. I'm still working on those, of course. Because I actually have a plan at the moment. I have a plan. I've been working through the stuff on the to-do board, and one of the things was working on the scenery area of this, like the scenic aspect, a lot of the clutter, and, you know, stuff like that. So I've been working on that a bit. And adding a bit of greenery. By the way, I need to actually switch over to stew. This tree, by the way, is probably going to change. The stem, normally it grows with no stem. And so I built it up and put a dirt block there, and then grew the tree out, and then it grew with a stem, so it got like extra big, and that wasn't intended. It wasn't intended to be that large. It was actually intended to start about right here, or about right here, but it didn't quite work out that way. So, but anyways, I've been working on this, trying to work on, you know, finalizing this little area of the build and the Betweenlands area. This right here is, right now it's a very manual system. I have to pull the lava out. I throw eggs down in there to bust them, which really I'm not using cooked chicken or raw eggs for much of anything at the moment. But I can throw eggs in there. Of course, this is basically like a manual version of like the automatic vanilla system, but I don't have dispensers at the moment. So the chickens go in there, and then the lava goes right above them, and then whenever they grow up, they get cooked and killed, and they create cooked chicken. So, and then the hopper right there, there's actually a hopper underneath that slab, and it does pull items out through the slab. So, we can get items that way from that. Now over here I have a pen with pigs in it. A lot of pigs. By the way, this is a feeding trough from farming for blockheads. And basically what this does, it's not too bad to craft. It does require a hay bale, which is easy. Golden carrot, which does require golden nuggets, or you can do it with starlight infusion, but we haven't got that far with astral sorcery just yet. We will be pretty soon. But this does require gold nuggets, which we don't really have like a standard way to craft those. But what you can do to get your nugget cast is place just a piece of smooth stone on your stone anvil, and then hammer it, and it becomes a stone nugget. And then you can craft, or you can put it into, you know, the smeltery casting base and pour gold over it, and you get a nugget cast. So that's probably the best way to make nuggets at the moment. So just a piece of smooth stone, not cobblestone, but smooth stone on that stone anvil, and smash it down, and you'll get your nugget. But what the feeding trough does is, when there's space and it has food in it available, and there's animals that don't have a breeding cooldown, you know, it has to be 2 animals actually. This thing's fairly intelligent. Right now it's not breeding because there's no space. It's counting, you know, the amount of pigs and the space around it, and saying, well, there's too many pigs in this area, we're not going to keep breeding them. But if I was to say kill a couple of these, you'll see it just activated some hearts, and it should do it again in just a second. There we go. And those 2 are going to go breed and make a baby. Make a baby pig. And then it looks like it's going to breed like 2 more. And it waits a second to make sure, you know, it's not making more animals and stuff. Now there's 2 more pigs that have replaced the 2 that I killed, and you notice it stopped feeding. It didn't feed these other 2. So it is pretty intelligent. I also have one over here for our cow pen. So I have a feeding trough, and it's building cows up. You can see it's still making some baby ones at the moment. So we do have animals I've got to put something here. These fences try to connect to these sakura leaves that fall down. I do quite like these trees, though. This one ended up massive. It might be a little bit larger than what I wanted it to be. But anyways, I wanted this area to kind of be a little bit overgrown because it's a little bit, I guess, closer to nature, you know, than some of the other areas are. Plus, it's like a lot of agriculture stuff, and so we got a lot of greenery and everything kind of spread out throughout here. Over here, I am working on a building, and I'm sure you can guess what this building is going to be. It's going to house all 16 colors of sheep, but it's very much in the works still at the moment. There is space for all 16 sheep. It's a little 3x3. I'm going to have like 4 sheep per pen. And that way I just have a place to share any color of wool that I want. You know, it's going to be available to us. 3 or 4 sheep, I don't know. Just a few sheep. So that way we're going to have easy access to all the fleece and everything that we need. So, but I've got to go out, once again, I've got to go farm mud from the between lands to make the roof, because it's going to be a combination of mud and thatch roof blocks for this. So I've got to do that. But my plan is, here's my plan, because I'm wanting to wrap up a couple of our builds, and so my plan is, when I'm out farming that mud and stuff, right, I'm going to farm up the stuff that we need to finish out the between lands build, you know, the swamp dirt and all the different plants, so we can finish out that and finish out this roof at the same time, get the sheep in, and then I can finish adding, you know, the clutter for this area, and then the agricultural district will be done. Then I'm going to work on the bridges, cleaning those up and adding the understructures and stuff like that. And then I'm also going to be working on the totem. My goal is to actually have that first totem done, top to bottom, the wing bones, the face, and the decor of it this weekend. That's my goal, anyways. We'll see how close I get to it, but that is my goal, is to have like this district, this little area done, the portal area done, and then also the first totem done. Like, done. Well, except for the interior, because that one doesn't have the elevator yet, but that's my goal, anyways. Now, in addition, I've got some items inside of here. I've set up a couple crafting tables, like I promised, and we've got stuff to make. First up is the compass. We've actually got, it's these 4 advancements that we're going to be getting, and then we're also going to go ahead and make the watering can today as well. So compasses, there we go. That's pretty straightforward. You make, you know, iron plates, which I actually ended up making a cast for that, so I can just pour the plates out instead of having to hammer them, and then an iron arrowhead, which is, you know, an arrowhead cast. So we got the get lost, oh wait, advancement, and you can see up at the top left we can now see our coordinates. Those are available on screen to us. Now next up we have the stopwatch. We'll go ahead and grab that, and that's going to tell us our motion, you know, what direction we're heading and how fast we're heading and all that stuff, basically. And then next up we have the depth meter. This is going to tell us how deep we are. So it's going to tell us how deep we are. Basically our Y coordinate is now viewable up there at the top left. And then lastly we have the Biome Eliezer. This thing right here, and it's going to tell us our biome that we're in. So right now we're in a woodlands biome. I don't know how extensively we're going to use these or keep them on us. I know the stopwatch, I'm going to put that away because I have no need for that. The depth meter, I don't have really any use for that at the moment. And honestly, the Biome Eliezer and the compass, I don't have that much use for them because we've got our antique atlas. And unless I'm looking for a specific biome, you know, maybe in the, well, not even really the between lands. I know all those biomes, but you know, it might be useful. And I mean, we're fairly close to getting journey map, but if you don't have journey map, those things would be a little bit more useful, I feel like. But we're getting fairly close to journey map, and we don't really need those coordinates before finding journey map, I don't feel like. Now, in addition, over here, I threw in some biomass. You can make this out of seeds. I just used standard wheat seeds. And if you throw it in the compost bin, you gotta use an empty hand. You could turn it into fertilizer, which basically is Actually Addition's bone meal. And then we can get ourselves our watering can. So we'll go ahead and snag that thing. And we got the fast farm advancement. So look at that. We've cleaned out a lot of this top section. We still have this to do. We'll get to that. And then this, we'll get to that as well. But the watering can, what we can do is, right now you'll notice it says empty. We can right click on water and fill it up, and then we can basically speed up crop growth. So I think you guys are all pretty familiar with the watering can, but just in case you're not, harvest up the sugar cane, because that's something I'm actually using for wicker. So, but then we can hold right click with the watering can, and it's going to water it, and it's going to increase the crop growth. Now with sugar cane, it's not super apparent, as you can see. I mean, it's taking a while. I will say that if the sigil of the green grove was working as intended, that would actually be the ideal route. It's a lot faster. But I'm going to put that away for right now. It's still a handy tool to have, quite useful. And I'm sure I'll end up using it, especially when it comes to make, well, I don't know. I mean, hemp grows pretty fast if you only harvest the top section. When I need a big burst, I will generally harvest the bottom section too, but for the most part, I just harvest the top, and it grows back a lot faster that way. I don't know. I'll use it somewhere, but we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, hopefully by next episode, I'm hoping to have this building actually done by next episode, and then maybe the Betweenlands area done as well. And maybe a bit more. You know, maybe have all this stuff built out. And actually, if I finish those 3 things, I mean, that's going to be 3 things off my to-do list, which I'm kind of excited for. So anyways, today we are going to be heading back into the Twilight Forest. I am going to go grab some life points before we get started, and then I'll meet you guys over at the portal and we'll head on in. Okay, into the Twilight Forest. One thing I did grab is I did grab a trophy. We are going to need that before we get started. By the way, I forgot to mention when we were talking about the Biome Eliezer, it's all pretty standard stuff. Magic map we've already covered, torchberries, sickly twilight oak sapling, we've gotten all that. The root strands, these are things that are super common. I'll actually show you some here in just a second. The canopy trees, they're those. You just chop down one of those and you're going to get plenty of saplings. But the root strands, I actually got mine right down here. These right here, they're super common underground. You harvest those with shears and you'll get the root strands that you need. So anyways, we need to go into a dark forest. That's not a dark forest. I know that. I believe... I remember seeing one. I believe it was off in this direction. Oh, and if you want to see something actually pretty funny, if you take a look at the statistics. So, right here, I've played over 15 days so far. Since last death, I've played 1 day, or, 1.1 day. But then, like, distance, walked 383 kilometers, sprinted 355, flown 814. That's from lunging with the sword. I have flown more than I've walked or sprinted. Okay, there we go. There's the dark forest that we were looking for. Now, technically, I probably should have brought a magic map with me, because it'll actually display where in the dark forest that you want to go, so you can kind of just go over the top and dig down. But we're going to brave the dark forest, and it is very, very dark, as you can see. It's very dense and very dark. But in here, there is, in the very center, this is kind of like the swamp, the fire swamp, how there was the Hydra. In the very center of it, in the case of the dark forest, there is a Ur-Ghast tower in the very center of it. But then in each, pretty much in each cardinal direction, there is a dungeon, and that's what we're looking for first, is the dungeon. And we just found it. Actually didn't take that long. So this right here, we have the underbrick, cracked underbrick, and this stuff, I wouldn't mind getting this because it's not craftable. I'm at least going to grab up a little bit of it, and then, I'll tell you what, I'm going to mark on the map here, and mark it as dungeon, so that we can easily find it again, because I actually like this underbrick quite a bit. We have a red cap sapper. Okay, now we are looking for an entrance to this place, and it's actually probably right over here. In fact, it could be covered up though. I feel like it's supposed to be here. But you can't really dig into these places because there's like bedrock. And apparently silverfish too, but there's bedrock down there that's going to be blocking them off after a certain point. Because basically you have to like prove your worth, and that's why we have the trophy with us. I'm trying to find the entrance to this place. Okay, here, this will work. We'll just burrow down. I'm sure we'll find the exit pretty easily from here. Yeah, see, it looks like the exit is covered. Maybe. Okay, but anyways, if we go through here, through this. Right here, this is basically the, like, prove your worth chamber. Yeah, it looks like... Wait, is this an exit that's open? Aha! There is, in fact, one that's open. Right here. Okay. Anyways, this is like the little prove your worth chamber. So right here, what we have to do is we have to take a trophy. And I believe it can be any trophy. I mean, I know it displays just like the Naga, Lich, Hydra, and all that. But I believe... Yes, trophy champion. Okay, and then we can grab our trophy back. And we can grab the pedestal. So we can take it with us. And we can use it and like display our trophies on it and stuff. Which is kind of what I'm thinking of doing with it. Okay, so now we are in the dungeon. Block and chain goblins. These guys are kind of a pain because they have all that knockback. Armor shards. This is something we're going to want for armor shard clusters to make night metal ingots. And night metal ingots we can use to make the knightly armor. Block and chain, knightly axe, the blocks of night metal. I would actually like a lot of these. One day whenever we have the spawners, I would love to get a bunch of these so we can use them for flooring. Because they actually look pretty cool. But the knightly armor is just shy of the Valenite stuff. So we are getting close to Valenite level in the Twilight Forest. Eventually there's going to be better armor than Between Lands stuff. And all this underbrick, I'm definitely going to be coming back to farm this stuff up because I do want to use it for building. If I recall, yep, these are basically like little tombs. And I think that's the only one with any treasure. Yeah. But if we take a look in here, we got an iron sword with knockback 1. I'm going to leave that. Blue wool. I'll actually take the wool because wool's actually a pain to gather up. And the fireflies, I'll take those as well. Okay, and there is some decent loot in these places. There's another chest. What do we got here? Ironwood sword with light pierce 3 and an armor shard. Yeah, we'll take all that. My backpacks are all pretty well dumped off at the moment. Originally, I was planning on making some new potions to use for the Ur-Ghast, but they actually didn't work out in my test world, sadly. So I had to scrap that idea, but that's fine because the Ur-Ghast is actually a fairly easy fight, but or should be, anyways. I don't think he's tweaked much in this version over previous versions. Okay, so we're gonna head down here. I believe underneath these, sometimes there's treasure chests, if I recall correctly. I want to say. And what do we got here? Charm of Keeping. 8 night metal. I will definitely take that. I didn't bring a bow with me, but we're not going to fight the Ur-Ghast just yet. I am going to bring a bow for the Ur-Ghast fight, just so we have it. Okay, right here is actually the boss. Behind these iron bars, usually. Was it not the boss? Sometimes stone will spawn there, and it'll be like blocking the entrance to the boss. But I guess that's not the boss room. Is this the boss room? Maybe. Yeah, see right back here, there's a chest with some treasure. We have Feather Falling 3 book, which actually looks like we can use enchanted books if we find them. We just can't enchant at the moment, like normal enchanting, but we can find enchanted books to use, so that's good to know. Let's go through here. Aha, it is the boss room. But I don't think it's actually the proper entrance. That's the proper entrance over there. Let's see if we can pull this guy over before we engage the boss. Okay. This boss actually isn't too bad, I want to say. But I am going to pop a potion here. Potion of Strength. And that's because I don't normally fight him, like, with this kind of equipment. So he might be a little bit stronger than I'm used to. Okay, so here we go. And basically the goal is we need to take out all of these knights. And there's different ones with different equipment and all that stuff. But you can see Elixir of Strength, and we pretty much wreck them. And there we go. That's it. Fairly easy fight normally. And I want to say that maybe some of these have treasure in them, but maybe not. Okay. Well, anyways, in here we have a Night Phantom Trophy. I'm really glad they added those as drops. And we also got 6 Epic Shader grab bags. And I'm really happy to see that they have it drop as a chest instead of each night dropping equipment and stuff. We have a Phantom Helm here, and actually I think this is the point. Yeah, this is the equipment that's actually a little bit better than the Valinite stuff. Plus it comes enchanted, which is really nice. But we have Protection 2, Projectile Protection 4, and Unbreaking 3, or Unbreaking 3 and Curse of Vanishing. We don't want to wear that one. And then we have a nightly pick here with Excavate 5. That is awesome. Because Excavate is, you can get it enchanted on stuff. But normally it's a lot later in the pack to get Excavate. But we have something with Excavate 5, which is, I believe, max on that. And then we have a nightly pick with Magnet 2 and Unbreaking 3, and an axe with Efficiency 3, and an axe with Mending on it. That is also very, very nice, because that's actually a pretty good axe. So, very good loot out of that. That is good stuff. By the way, this thing does work if I hold the Excavate button. Look at that. Shoo! It's just tearing through walls, and I'm getting tons of underbrick. Now, one thing I do want to do, maybe, is... Let's see, let's take the anvil. And this one has Excavate 5, and we're going to see if we can put... Yeah, the Magnet 2 and Unbreaking 3 would be nice on it. And then try to get Mending on it, and that would be a really good pick to have. Like Unbreaking, Mending, Magnet, and Excavate would be awesome. We just have to find something, you know, with Mending. I doubt that I can... Yeah, I can't do that. By the way, be careful when you have something enchanted. You can repair it in your inventory, but you lose all enchantments. So I wouldn't suggest it. But yeah, so let me do that real quick. It wanted 24 levels. So there we go. We now have an Excavate 5, Magnet 2, Unbreaking 3 pick. And I'm going to try not to use it too much until I get... until I can get Mending on it. That would be ideal. And then if we manage it, maybe even Fortune on it would be would be awesome. Okay, so anyways, back to exploring this place. And like I said, I mean, each forest is going to have like, what is it, 3 or 4 of these dungeons. So we still have, you know, plenty of chances just in this one forest to try to get, you know, other gear with Mending or Fortune or something on it. Nope. I got everything out of that chest. I got it all. Okay. Some of those are trapped, so you'll know it because it's unfamiliar item. It's trap chest. So some of those are rigged up with TNT. Smite 4 and Unbreaking 3. We'll take that sword, I guess. Not a whole lot of mob spawning in here, but I don't know. Mob spawns are a little bit wonky. Right now I'm on the server with Faraday and Sneaky Seraphim. At the moment. Oh, Unbreaking 2. I'm really hoping for like a Mending book. Or like a Fortune 3 book or something. Crazy good like that. All these charms of keeping that I no longer need. Like I feel like if you just go through the Twilight Forest, you're going to get them all. Because I know that the Ur-Ghast Tower is going to have a lot of them. As well. And I believe the Ice Queen's Tower would have some. And these places have them. And they're like super common. Okay, so that's like... That's all the pathways. The problem with this dungeon though is a lot of times your pathways end up covered. So like for example, if we go back to the boss room, the main entrance to the boss room was covered. So this, yeah, see it leads to another staircase. Oh, whoops. I don't know what that is, but I want it. Protection 3. Not bad. I will take it. We're getting some decent stuff out of here because I can enchant the Valinite stuff with protection now. Yeah, see, this is like a dead end pathway. I need to keep an eye out for those chests, though. Oh, and then we have a spawner here with helmet crabs. Well, I would like to have that spawner, but the problem is the vanilla spawners have limited spawns in this pack. Like, you can actually pick them up. Yeah, there we go. You can pick them up with carry-on, but they're limited to 400 spawns, and it's not really worth the effort trying to get it out of here. We got another Sharpness 4 book. Yeah, see, now we're actually getting into, like, the main parts of the dungeon. And there's probably something back in here. Another boss room. Am I in, like, another dungeon somehow? Did I link into another one, I feel like? Do I even want to bother popping a potion for this, or not really? I'll say not really. We're just going to go in. Because it's really not a difficult fight in the least. There's one down anyways. They get a lot easier as you kill more and more of them. Alright. There's like 3 more down. There's like all but one of them down. Okay, there we go. Alright, what is this big cobble stone thing here? Okay. What do we got here? We got a nightly pick with experience boost 2, another one with efficiency 3, nightly sword with knockback and bane of arthropods 3, an axe with fortune 2, unbreaking 3, and efficiency 3. That's a nice axe. And then if we stick that mending axe with it, that's going to be a really good axe. Fortune is good for getting mushrooms. Chopping down those large mushrooms, it's great for that. I would love to have Vein Miner on that too. Another Night Phantom Trophy, Protection 2, Phantom Plate. That's not bad. Fire Protection 2 and Breaking 3, Helm. And Mending with Curse of Vanishing. Okay. Alright. Just came out of this little pathway here. These places are generally pretty large. There's another anvil. I'll take that. And there's actually a room right down here. And I'm curious as to what it is. Because it looks like... Oh, it's the boss room that we were just in. Okay. Usually, like, whenever you see those, I mean, that's boss rooms, you know. Okay, this is the upstairs of that one room. I don't know why there's, like, no mobs spawning whatsoever. Normally, I mean, the mobs here really aren't that difficult, but normally there are mobs. It's a lot of vanilla mobs, and then those little guys with, like, the ball and chain and, you know, some stuff like that, but we're not really getting anything spawning. There's another... It's another boss room. It's a third boss room here. Oh my gosh. Fingers crossed for mending and fortune and some of that stuff. Alright. That one is down. And let's see what we got. We got an axe with fortune 1. A pick with efficiency 3, fortune 2, and unbreaking 3. Okay, I'll take it. Nightly sword with light pierce 3. Another one with light pierce 3 and knockback. Fire protection 2. Blast protection 4, iron wall, and unbreaking 3. And then protection 3, mending, and unbreaking 3. That could be our new chest piece. Because that's actually quite a bit better than the Valinite one. Especially if we put a gem on it. Once I get back to the overworld. And then it having unbreaking and mending and protection. That's nice. And then I did get that book with protection 3. I could probably upgrade it. That's going to be a very powerful chest plate. And we've got 18 epic shader grab bags. Okay, and it looks like all these paths just now, they just come full circle. And I think we've explored everything. I think we've actually managed to hit all 3 of the bosses going through the same maze. All the ones that spawn in this dark forest. So I'm actually going to see, can I head up? Because I think after the bosses are killed, maybe, the bedrock that blocks it is gone. Or like the protected blocks. It's not bedrock, it's protected blocks. Or that's what it used to be anyways. But yeah, okay. Okay, I'm just going to climb out on top of this, on top of the canopy. And if we come over here, we can probably see the Ur-Ghast tower. We're not going to go in there just yet. Right there, where the leaves get a lot darker. Right over here will be the Ur-Ghast tower, somewhere around here. Yeah, right there. So that's the Ur-Ghast tower. That's where we have to go here soon. But I do want to pop into the overworld first, because I need to dump our inventory, and I want to see about upgrading that chest plate. sticking a gem on it and then changing over from the Valinite, because that's going to be an upgrade for us. And this stuff isn't too bad to repair, but when it has mending, we don't have to worry too much about that because we can get, we can repair it with XP, so that'll be fine. Okay, let's make ourselves a new chest piece, and it's going to be a crazy, crazy chest piece. So it's Protection 3 that we have on this. Protection 3, Mending and Unbreaking 3. For some reason I was thinking it's Protection 2. But what we're going to do, first up, we're going to add a Protection 3 book to it. Oh yeah, I'm going to need some levels. Which I think we've actually got. Yeah, see, we've got levels in here. It's just not, whenever you enter a dimension, it takes away all your XP temporarily. So Protection 4, we're going to upgrade it with our Protection 3 book. And 2 Protection 3s make Protection 4. So Protection 4, Mending and Unbreaking 3. And then we're going to add this chest plate to it. That's 10 levels. Grab those, and I'll show you why that is. Most of the stuff is going to get basically nullified from it. Because it has Blast Protection 4 and Unbreaking 3, which it already has Unbreaking 3. And Blast Protection won't go on there with Protection. But it has Iron Wall. And I love the Iron Wall enchantment. Basically what Iron Wall does is it means it's going to resist any knockback effects. So normally whenever mobs hit you and it does that little knockback, yeah, that's not going to be a thing. We now are ironclad. We are ironclad in our Phantom Plate. So Protection 4, Mending, Unbreaking 3, and Iron Wall. And then on top of all of that, we're going to add a green gem to this. So it's going to have that as well. Not to mention, it's actually slightly, I can't remember what that stat is called, that secondary protection stat. Basically, it's extra defense, and we have an extra 0.5 on that. So there we go. And our new chest plate. It actually looks pretty cool. It doesn't really match our Valinite stuff, but probably here pretty soon we're going to be losing all of our Valinite. That's all to be sorted. To be sorted junk is what all that is. Okay. So now we have a monster of a chest plate. And, I was wanting to tell you guys something funny. So, as of right now, there's only been 3 rings of Ascension that have been found on the server. Like, that's how rare they are. I mean, they're super rare, right? And I've actually found 2 of them. Of course, I think I've spent more time in the Betweenlands than, like, anybody. Probably more time than, like, everybody combined, I imagine. I've spent so much time in there. As you've seen in the trophy room, just a massive amount of time. But the other ring was actually found by Xtanos and maybe Cyraven too. I'm not for sure if he found it as well, but or if he was with Xtanos whenever they found it, because they're on a team. It's Xtanos, Cyraven, Sneaky Seraphim, and Solaris are all on a team. And anyways, they found the other ring, and I feel so bad about it. Xtanos was killed on top of a tower, and of course the ring doesn't drop with your inventory. And the ring went over the edge and was never found, never seen or heard from again. The ring was just gone. So, yeah. Which that's, knowing how long it takes to get those rings, like, that's rough. That is a very, very rough experience. I can imagine. Oh, you know what? I forgot to bring my bow. It doesn't really matter. Because the way we're going to be fighting him, I don't think we're going to really be using ranged weapons. If worse comes to worse, we have the divination, or the sigil of the blood lamp that we can damage stuff with, I guess. But anyways, we're going to head to the Ur-Ghast tower, and we're going to climb this thing like the legit way. Technically, I could actually just scale these walls, but we're not going to do that. We're gonna actually climb the tower. Plus, there's loot and stuff inside, which is definitely worth checking out. So right over here is our entrance, where these reappearing blocks are. And I'm hoping that mobs will actually spawn in here. Right now, I'm on the server with Treviday, who just pretty much just started on the server, and then Faraday. So, and I wonder, can we get these reappearing blocks? Yes, we can. Awesome. Awesome stuff. I'm not going to gather up. I'm going to clear first, then I can come back and gather up all the decorative items. But anyways, let's go ahead and head up here. It looks like I'm not having much in the way of mob spawns. And I was looking at the QEnt list, and honestly, I think it's Betweenlands that's doing it. And there's not a whole lot I can do about that, in truth. We got Experiment 115, Steel Leaf. I'll definitely take those. And I think we get an achievement if we, or an advancement if we eat this. Yes, mystery meat. Advancement. Oh, there's a door right here I missed. Is this, yeah, like a little reappearing block maze, basically. What this is. But I think it's between lands that's causing it. Did I really just get sawdust out of this? I have, like, 60 stacks of sawdust. I don't need any of that. I have so much sawdust. But I think it's between lands that's doing it. I really do, because when we look at the QEnt list and everything, it's a bunch of between lands mobs that keep spawning, but the problem is if we kill them, they just spawn right back. Even if nobody's in the between lands, they just keep coming back. Okay, this room is got a bunch of different plants. If you need saplings, this is a good place to find saplings if you need them, like different kinds, but we've got all of them. We've got a bone short bow that's broken. Mossy tower wood, tower planks. I'll take those, I guess. Kind of weird to find a random Tinker's Construct broken bow right there. But okay, we'll take it. Okay, so right here, this is our first platforming floor. Basically, if you right-click or you activate these levers, these will build things, but this one doesn't really seem to be building anything. But and then right here, you can activate the lanterns by clicking on those. Alright, so if we head up, we can activate the Carbonite builders, and they're going to build out little platforms for us. And they will eventually despawn, so just a heads up. That one I think just goes right over there. Okay, so we're going to head on up. Somebody's been through this one, actually. Oh, somebody's been through this one. Man. Yeah, because they like built their way up. Oh yeah, look at that. Totally didn't see that. I'm pretty sure it's probably Raven's group. Because from what I understand, they bugged out one of their Ur-Ghasts. And so they probably came into this one. So I'm going to have to go find a different one. Look at all the low-grade charcoal where the gas like burnt everything. Technically, I could probably get a Carbonite Reactor downstairs, maybe. I'm just looting these gas traps because I want them for decor. To set up. So... and then I'll go see if I can find another gas tower, and then I'll be back once I find one that's not been ran through. So I'll be back here in just a bit. Okay, I found another tower here. And this one shouldn't be explored because I went north, which I'm the northmost living person. And so I just went north basically from our home, northeastish. So anyways, let's head on up here. And, ooh, unfamiliar item brewing stand. I will take it. And we've got dispensers here with nothing in them. But this is going to be useful because it's just going to save me crafting steps when we hit the next age. So definitely worth grabbing. And honestly, all these redstone lamps would be handy, but I'm going to leave them alone for the time being. Because I'll be back here to farm up tower wood. I want tower wood for some builds coming up. So... Tower wood and underbrick both were things that I want for upcoming builds. Man, I just keep going up and it just keeps being like floors of this kind of stuff. I don't think... All these furnaces do sometimes have charcoal in them. Which is just free charcoal. And I want to say brewing stands are the next age, I think. Which, I don't know how much we'll use them because of the fact that we've got Between Lands alchemy, but... Okay, so I'm on my way up, and we have a platforming room. This one's a little bit different than the one with the builders, because you have like these ladders, and it almost works a little bit like a maze going up through here. And actually, I do want to... Oh, stop it. Did you die? Anyways, there's spawners as you go up. Yeah, see, there's 2 more gas spawners. At least 2 more. And then we're going to have to clear as we progress up through here. Okay, that's another spawner down. And one downside to this place is it's like all on fire. Some of the blocks are flammable, so sometimes, you know, stuff's being burnt. which is always fun. This is interesting. I like this one. There we go. But it's a good place, I guess, to get charcoal, because this low-grade charcoal, you can actually just go in and break it down into charcoal. So, that is an option. Oh, there's a blaze spawner here. And then this is just a little farm, nothing of interest there. I probably should have brought like some blocks to build with, especially when we get up to the higher floors, cobblestone, stuff like that. It does come in handy, but it's not necessarily needed though either. It seems like the blaze spawners aren't spawning anything. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that I'm not high enough age to where blazes can spawn, I guess, maybe? I don't know. I'm getting a lot of like dud rooms, like these water rooms. I don't think there's anything of note through there. And then there's like another little water thing right here with nothing. Actually, I'll tell you what, I can go up here. But I think I just bypassed part of the room. Okay, so right here, I believe this is the floor that we're looking for. This one has 4 different doors that we can go through, and I believe this is one where we have to get the 4 key pieces. And we have like different towers that connect off. Normally, I think most people skip these. Piston right there, I don't know what it opens. I don't think it actually does anything. And we're up to another room with 4 doors. One's a dead end. This leads to a balcony, you'll see those a lot. And then we have another little platforming room here. And it leads to a treasure room. Charm of Life, tower key, that's what we're looking for, is those tower keys. I don't really need that steel leaf or ironwood. I'm going to end up running out of room if I pick up everything. I got meat. I think it's ghast meat is what it is, but... See, we're getting a little bit of mobs in this one. Normally there's more mobs than this, though. We're still kind of getting the short end of the stick as far as mobs go, but I really don't know. Like I said, I mean, I think it's between lands, but they just keep coming back, you know, as soon as they're killed off, you know, with commands and stuff. I would suggest as you go up this tower, grab the levers and stuff that you come across, the pressure plates, because having extra redstone when you get up to the top is useful. So it definitely doesn't hurt to have that stuff. Okay, there is our second tower key that we're looking for, and we got a Knockback 2 book, which isn't too bad. And then, okay, that leads up to the roof. And I think that's about everything on this side. Oh, we got another tower key on this side. So there's 3, with an efficiency 3 and a bit more glowstone, which will definitely come in handy. I think it's the next, yeah, it's the next stage when we get to go to the nether and actually do all of that stuff. So we'll be able to get glowstone, I imagine, there, but getting a bit of it to start with isn't a bad idea either. And, okay, we got another tower key. So we've already gotten 4 of them, and then there's Feather Falling 3 book as well. So we've got 4 tower keys. I've actually only cleared out 2 of those pathways, but one of those pathways is the one that actually requires the tower keys, I think. So maybe that was actually all of it. The other one could be a balcony or something, who knows. And once again, I do suggest that you grab the redstone stuff, grab some levers, grab some pressure plates, and then if you're not using like longsword or something, you're not comfortable with it, that's the door that requires the keys, by the way. But we've got enough keys to open it, but I'm going to go ahead and check out this other direction. Just because we can, but I would suggest, especially if you're not using a longsword and stuff, maybe bringing some blocks to build with is quite useful as well. Actually, in this case, what you can do is just pull it off and move it. Oh yeah, and then there's a piston right here that you can use in addition. So, sticky pistons. I'm grabbing them as I go because pistons, you can never have too many of them. So, okay, that's the top. And we have 3 different rooms. There's a balcony. Okay, in 2 different directions that we can actually take. Okay, this path didn't have any tower keys. It just had some basic loot. One of the chests had a bunch of redstone lamps. Okay, so tower key, tower key, tower key, tower key, and then right click and open it up. Okay, now we're getting somewhere because we're approaching... steadily approaching the top of the tower. Still got a little ways to go. There's a vanishing block. There's that. Oh, we have a spider spawner right up here. Let's go ahead. Or Carbonite spider. I actually think this is the way that we're supposed to be going. So I'm going to go back down, in fact, because there's still a direction that we haven't checked back in that main room. And be careful, because you don't want to fall out of here. I would suggest keeping slime boots equipped. I'm going to definitely keep them equipped, even on the boss. Because if you fall off, it's like, you're going to die if you're not wearing some kind of fall protection. Empty map. I don't really want any of that. Yeah, see, I feel like this is the direction that we're supposed to be going. I don't know. There's like 2 different pathways, and both of them go like really far. Okay, yeah, this one seems to be a loot tower. So I'm gonna just climb it. And we got more tower keys. Efficiency 3. Yeah, see. And I don't believe that there's more than one tower key lock within a given tower. And what's weird is this one is actually after the tower key part. So, I don't know. But I don't think there's another key thing. And by the way, I am going to be editing out a lot of this footage because this tower is massive. I mean, when you come in here, plan to be in here for like an hour pretty easily. I mean, it's huge. And a lot of it is actually very redundant too, so... Okay, right here is another like little puzzle that can spawn, and basically as you go through here, you're going to see, I mean, there's fences everywhere, and you can't, usually you can't break these. Yeah, see, reappearing blocks. But one thing you can do is do that and run through. And these anti-builders, we're going to go ahead and break these off. I was hoping we could pick that up. Anti-builders. And see, the swift pick is actually fast enough that we can get through this pretty quick. But normally what you're looking for is the places that just have like one fence and you can cut through and go in real quick. But swift pick actually makes it a bit easier. Alright, so we've got more directions that we can go. I want to see a spawner. Let me go ahead and knock that out real quick. Oh, the anti-builder keeps shutting off my... my torches. That's fine. Oh, there is another tower key puzzle. So right here we're going to need 4 more tower keys, which I've already gotten 2 of the 4 that we need. Okay, we got another tower key up here. So we're up to 3 of them, but I imagine we're probably going to end up coming out with more than 4, but that's fine. I actually don't mind that. I wouldn't mind having one for a trophy room, but you can see the top is actually pretty close now. I think after this puzzle, then it's pretty much a hop, skip, and a jump. The last few floors are kind of like... Generally, they're kind of like just like pre-loot floors kind of a thing. So you'll get a little bit of like some stuff. Generally like some gas tiers and some stuff like that. Feather falling, another tower key. So there's all the tower keys that we need. Okay, I cleared all the side rooms. I still only have 4 tower keys, so maybe I actually got exactly enough in here. I know in the past you would generally find more, but the last like couple towers that I cleared, I didn't find any more of them in there, so I don't know for sure. But anyways, we'll take this pathway first. That one pathway heading up should be like the main path. This looks like just a loot tower. A spawner right there. Half the time these guys don't even hurt you. Oh, we're getting so close to the top. Like, to give you an idea, I've literally been in here for like, I don't know. There's like not even that many mobs spawning, like outside of spawners. I mean, I've still been in here for like ever. Because it's so much just like running around through these like interconnecting rooms and stuff. These rooms, I actually tend to use that on. Just because these rooms are scary, actually. I don't want to fall off. We're up to 15 charms of keeping from this single dungeon. See, like, I really don't even know that you even have to do... I don't think you even have to do all the, oh, you know, all the mazes like I did. You can, and it doesn't really hurt anything, but you can also get a bunch of charms of keeping just by doing the progression required ones. But I know a lot of people seem to skip this, so... And they just go straight up for the boss, which, I don't know. I usually do that too, but this pack, in this age and everything, is so like exploration focused that I feel like it's kind of ruining a lot of the fun of the pack, you know. Okay, so now we're heading up the proper way, the correct way, and we got another blaze spawner here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. Okay, and then I got another one of these rooms. Oh, I just saw a ghast here. I want that. Aha! And honestly, if you're wanting to farm ghast tiers, which we might be doing soon, I'm not for sure yet. Because I know Steve's Carts is coming up, but I'm not for sure what the recipe is going to be for the, that one alloy. Can't think of the name of it right now for some reason, but... Okay, yeah, now we're just about at the end. You can see we've got like some stuff here. Let's go ahead and grab our sticky pistons off. I don't want to activate this. Don't do that because it's a trap. So I would suggest against it anyways. But in the middle here, there is a Carbonite Reactor. You can break this off, and there we go. We got the Reactor Idle advancement, which is actually what we need to do the training with coal and move to the next stage. That's really all that we need to do, is just craft that up. It is quite involved, though. I mean, there's a few things to that craft. And honestly, it's going to be like a week before we do it. We could, though. But you could see, I mean, we need like fiery gears, which is mostly Twilight Forest stuff. You have some steel leaf rods, ghast tiers, cauldron, seared furnace, a couple anvils, sticky pistons, gold chests. I mean, most of the stuff that we've been gathering as we go up here. And then right here we have a couple things. First up, if you break off these blocks, you can see it's showing you crafting recipes. You can take this, and then the tower wood planks, and the encased tower wood, and you can make vanishing blocks with that. I'm not going to, but you can. And then also if you take these items, this is borer essence, which sadly we haven't been getting a lot of that stuff because the mobs aren't naturally spawning for whatever reason. That's how you make Carbonite. It's kind of disappointing though, like that the mobs are so badly bugged within this pack, because it does kind of take away from it. But yeah, if you take these pistons and you push them into the Carbonite Reactor, it's going to make reappearing blocks of diamond and gold, and then it's going to explode. And then we have another Carbonite Reactor right above that one. So there's two of those for our purposes. Okay, so the fight is just about to begin. We're about to get on to this. I'm going to grab a couple things here, and I'm going to get ready. Get ready for this. I'm going to want an Elixir of Strength, and I'm going to go ahead and grab an Elixir of Healing, and I'm going to grab some bottles of wine, because these are only 2-minute buffs. These are quality 1 bottles of wine. So, and then honestly, I might grab a Swift Arm Brew as well, so we can pop all of those and make this a bit quicker. And I know this episode's probably running a bit long. We're just about done. That's a spawner for the boss. A couple things that we want to grab in addition to our potions is we want to get some form of redstone. We're going to get the pressure plates. I've also got these levers in case. That's basically because the gas, you do have to use some redstone to activate the gas traps for this boss if you're doing it legit. You can, if you have a really good bow, or if you have flight or something like that, you can actually kill him without even bothering with this. But that's one thing I like about this pack, is we don't really have access to those kind of things. A bow with Tweenlands potions, you could probably pull it off. Especially if you use special arrows like Octane and Poison, you could pull it off with a bow. And then if you use the Swift Arm Bow or Swift Arm Brew in addition, you know, you could do it. But we're going to be doing the legit method, but we are going to be using the power of our potions. That's why we made all these things. And I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not going to pop the Elixir of Healing just yet. I may not need it. But we'll get the Swift Arm and the... Well, let's do this. That should have us all set, and then we can pop Elixir of Strength, Swift Arm, and then our bottles of wine once we get up there and get situated. But the way this boss works is there's going to be 4 different towers in each cardinal direction. And there's a trap in there, and you're going to see we're going to have to kill ghast and basically prime it. And here we go. There we go. That's the Ur-Ghast. And you can see he's already firing. That's one of the Carbonite, or the gas traps that we're looking for. And you can see he's kind of watching me. You can build a little, like, platform above this. And you want to watch out for his fireballs, because they do a bit of damage. A decent amount. We're looking for gas spawns. And he doesn't seem to be spawning any, which is kind of worrisome. I hope it's not tied to the mobs that aren't spawning. Okay, here we go. We have to kill these. And I'm going to go ahead and pop the Elixir of Strength and the Swift Arm Brew. The trap is not activating. There we go. That beeping sound, that's what we want to happen. Oh. The ghast activated it, which is not awesome. Okay, here we go. Hopefully. Okay, we got to get the ghast right above it. And then once he gets above it, come on. Then we Ghostbuster him. Oh, he's not close enough. Okay. I end up wasting these brews. That's what I'm going to end up doing. I've still got 3 minutes on him. Those wines boost it by so much. Okay. That's what we want. Now we just have to get him to come up right above it. And then once he gets about above it, do that, and then just beat on him. And that's why we have the Swift Arm Brew and the Damage Brew, is for that. Okay, so we're going to hurry on over here, hopefully before our brew runs out. Now, he can eat the ghasts. And I'm actually going to break this redstone. I don't like those pressure plates because things trigger it. Okay, there we go. He is going to try to eat these little ghasts. And if he manages to do so, it will heal him a little bit. Come on over here. I need you to come down here. Okay, he's coming over. There we go. There we go. And we got the Tears of Fire advancement. Okay. That wasn't too bad. And we still got a little bit of time on our potions. Now right over here in the center is where the chest is going to spawn with his loot. And that's what we're after. This stuff right here. We got 8 Carbonite. We got 4 Fiery Tears. And then we got the Ur-Ghast trophy. Oops. And we didn't have to drink the healing potion. So the damage potions are pretty much just so that we deal extra damage and kill them off a bit quicker. So we got it in 2 Ur-Ghast trap things. Instead of it taking, you know, a few or whatever. But it's just a matter of getting him, like, finagled over above the traps, because he does have to be, you know, pretty much directly above the trap for it to actually activate. Look at that. It hasn't even taken any damage because of the mending. Oh, it's so good. That is so good. I want that on, like, all our armor. The only thing is Valinite isn't the armor that I'm intending on using from Twilight Forest, like, long term, but... Or not Valinite, but the Phantom Plate. There is better armor in the Twilight Forest, but... Valinite was nice, but I'm trying to move away from it at this point, so... but yeah, if we take a look here at the Twilight Forest advancements, we have done that. I don't know why we didn't get that, though. Because we did that. A couple times, actually. But I don't know. Maybe try to find another Ur-Ghast or something down the road, or to get it, you know. But yeah, now we're about to enter the Snow Queen stuff. Which is, I mean, honestly, the Iron Apple is... We could possibly even get it next episode. Because I think we're going to go ahead and do Twilight Forest again next episode. We might finish Twilight Forest, or we'll at least come really, really close. But the Iron Apple just requires some Alpha Yeti Fur, which we'll get. And then we also need the Lamp of Cinders, which is a little bit further in, but not terribly far in. So I did look at my test world, and it looks like the final boss in the castle is still not implemented yet. So that's still not a thing, sadly. So, but anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode, so I am going to end it out here. Whenever I leave here, I am going to go tackle that night maze that's down below us, because of course the loot from those is really, really good. And since this, you know, if this was a forest, I'm not going to go out and like just try to find a bunch of night castles or night mazes to loot, you know, so as not to mess it up for other people. But since we had to come here and destroy this Ur-Ghast, this forest is already pretty much useless as far as progression goes, because you're not going to have access to the Ur-Ghast. So I'm going to go ahead and do the nights down below. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And next episode, like I said, we'll be doing the Snow Queen and Alpha Yeti stuff. Snow Queen's also is another rather large dungeon if you do it properly. If you don't just fly up to the top, which we're gonna do them properly. But anyways, I hope you guys join me for that. And of course, if you guys have any questions or anything, do let me know, and I'll do my best to get those answered for you. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and cross your fingers that I'm rocking some new nightly plate mending awesome gear by next episode. I'm aiming for all mending is what I'm after. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time.